Boris Johnson has been warned tearing up the hated Brexit deal with the European Union would break international law and play into the hands of a gleeful Vladimir Putin. The row over post-Brexit trading arrangements in Northern Ireland exploded again this week, with the two sides locked in a vicious war of words. The UK, led by Foreign Secretary Liz Truss, has repeatedly warned it is ready to invoke Article 16 and override large parts of the Northern Ireland Protocol if a solution cannot be agreed, but the European Union is refusing to back down and has warned of fierce retaliation if Britain was to break an international treaty signed between the two sides. Coventry University politics professor Matt Kvortrup warned Britain would be breaking the rule of law if it were to breach the agreement with the EU, and Putin would be ready to pounce. He told Express.co.uk, in international law, covenants must be honoured and so you have to stick to the agreement you have made. If Britain was to invoke Article 16 in the way Liz Truss has spoken about, then they would be breaching an international treaty. Should the government go ahead and break an international treaty, then it would have consequences. At the moment we are fighting a war against somebody and in international affairs, standing up for the rule of law. If you break an international law or agreement, that is a massive no-no. Professor Kvortrup, who is also an expert in law, added, if we are to have any credibility in saying we believe in the rule of law but then we break a rule, that would be terrible and would be a godsend to Vladimir Putin. He has Britain firmly in his sights and breaking the rule of law would be playing into his hands. Putin would say, well, you talk about the rule of law, and whenever it is convenient, you break it anyway. Britain has recently been able to regain the mantle as the true serious player, but that would all be thrown away. The politics professor warned Boris Johnson not to invoke Article 16 and rip up the Northern Ireland Protocol with the EU. He remembered a conversation he had with the Prime Minister around a decade ago, adding some of his last words to him are critically important now in relation to the standoff with the EU. Professor Kvortrup concluded, my last conversation with Boris Johnson when he was Mayor of London was when I spoke to him in Latin, which translated to, a clever man never urinates against the wind. If I were to stick with my conversation almost a decade ago with the Prime Minister, then I would say essentially the same thing. What the UK must be focusing on is forming a united front with the EU against the Russians. But having a battle with the Europeans over this deal will not be helpful. Earlier this week, Ms. Truss held a call with European Commission Vice President Maros Šefčovič on Thursday, and reiterated the UK's position. She said the situation in Northern Ireland is a matter of internal peace and security for the United Kingdom, and if the EU would not show the requisite flexibility to help solve those issues, then as a responsible government we would have no choice but to act, according to a Downing Street statement. In response, Mr. Šefčovič warned the possibility of Britain acting unilaterally was of serious concern and any move to scrap the agreement would be unacceptable. He insisted the EU had offered the UK as serious of solutions to break the deadlock and that there was still potential to be explored in our proposals. We are still awaiting the response from the UK side.